Welcome to Trekking Across the Universe on this last day of February in 2026, unless you're in Australia, because it's already March 1st there. How exciting! Well, we are here to discuss Star Trek Starfleet Academy, Episode 8 of Season 1. Any volunteers to start?
That wasn't horrible.
It's a good start. And
Yeah,
we
I would
have
agree.
even more about Sam.
We did learn more about Sam, and yes, the Doctor's trauma goes back to
800 years.
the Voyager episode. I believe it was called Real Life.
Yeah.
Season 3, yeah.
So, but unfortunately for me, like last week, I think it's way too early in the show with too few episodes per season to do this bodily drama personal story. That being said, it was extremely well written. It was extremely well produced. Technically, it was really, really good. Star Trek wise, again, I'm disappointed.
Yeah.
Yeah, my feelings on it are, I was thinking about before we went on, but I didn't not like the episode. Like you said, Greg, it wasn't that there was a problem with it. It was just coming off last week's episode, which was sort of like trying to recover after the big sort of mid-season event.
Craziness. Mhm.
This could have been both, and I feel like we've just wasted 2 episodes of a show that, like you said, we've got valuable time with. We've only got 10 episodes, and to do a sort of trauma recovery episode, and I feel like it was better than last week's episode. I just wish last week's episode didn't happen, and then I would feel better about this one, if that makes sense.
That makes
Yeah.
a lot of sense, actually.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. I agree. I mean, it was nice finding out why the Doctor still had not recovered from that for 800 years. And it was just like, well, that's why he was treating Sam the way he was. And, it was just like, okay. And he hasn't resolved this in 800 years. That's kind of what got me. It's like, I just couldn't believe that he hadn't resolved it. And he was still bothered by it. And I mean, very bothered. And obviously it had changed the way he interacted with people since then.
Well, he has been kind of a prick since the beginning of the series.
Oh, yeah. And now we know kind of why. Is it right?
I was
No.
I was excited to see this sort of penny drop, but I'm in two minds about it because I feel like this was such a deep cut into a very specific episode of Voyager. And I think the problem is obviously the nature of 90s TV. Everything had to reset at the end of the episode, so you never see him deal with the events of that episode ever again in the show.
No, not in the series. No.
So
he even goes and builds this relationship with Seven.
Yes, that's exactly
like a nurturing relationship with Seven. And I'm like, well, maybe it has something to do with Seven.
Yeah.
That we never learned about.
Yeah,
Because it certainly didn't come up in Picard.
Yeah, it just wasn't that, and I think that it felt frustrating because I genuinely thought that it was going to be about the fact that he had this family of real people, the Voyager crew, and they all died, and it was really hard for him to move on.
Mm-hmm.
And we also find out he's close to the Prodigy kids as well. Another crew that he had to leave behind. So I can understand that 1,000 years of watching people die is traumatizing, and you don't want to get close to them. But I didn't expect the catalyst for that to be the holographic daughter that appeared in one episode that was never dealt with in the show.
I mean, unless it was something that Robert Picardo felt should have had more lasting repercussions, but at the detriment of it not previously having lasting repercussions. It almost made the character's attitude confusing.
Yeah.
But what do you think? How do you think they could have done it differently that you would have liked it a little bit better and been more satisfied?
I just think it should have been a bit scopier about the fact that, yes, he's lost so many people in his life, people that really meant a lot to him, people that he spent a lot of time with, 7 years in the Delta Quadrant, however long his interaction with the Prodigy kids lasts for. I can believe that after that, losing people over and over again, you start to want to alienate people because you don't want to feel those feelings. I completely believe that.
They could have just focused on the Sam and Doctor story.
Yeah.
And he could have, more healing than in just the last 5 minutes. It could have been a real sci-fi story about AI. It could have, focused on, a young person dealing with trauma at the same time. And it could have, been, they could have made these aliens a lot more, even though they're holographic, they have, it could have been, from being on the outside looking in on emotion and grief and, done what sci-fi does. However, that seemed like it became the B story of the episode. And it still left me flat where, oh, well, time moves faster, so he's going to spend 17 years with his, raising Sam. And then, meanwhile, was Captain Aki just sitting around reading books for 17 years? Or did she go home? Because at the end,
she went home. So they went home.
Yeah, it still felt, yeah, but that whole closing monologue seemed odd that it made her feel like she'd been away 17 years or something. And I'm like, was she?
I never thought about it like that, but yeah.
No, I didn't either. I thought she had left because, I mean, she was at the academy when Sam came back. And I got the impression that the realm that they were in when they were talking to the hologram was not the realm that he was from. That was something that they created to be in her time, on her timeline. That's what I got out of it. I mean, maybe I'm totally
so maybe
wrong.
She sat on the shuttle for 2 weeks or whatever it was.
No, I might have missed it, but I don't think she was in the stream that the Doctor was.
Okay.
Yeah, the timeline seemed to be brushed over a little bit.
Yeah, I might have gotten it mixed up, but I just assumed she was not, so.
Yeah, it's like, I think they still forget that sci-fi people want to watch this show. And it's like, we like to think about the hard things. We like to think about the weird scientific implications of, time differentials and things like that. So.
Yeah, I must say there wasn't a lot of challenges, I suppose, technical challenges in this episode. Those hologram people seemed very agreeable. They were like, "Yep, she's dead," and they were like, "Oh, why did you rebuild her?" Oh, okay. That was.
I thought it was cool that like everything had looked around like that seed, like when they recreated her.
Yeah.
I thought that was very clever because when he was looking at her diagnostic, the screen kind of looked like that seed. and then the whatever they went into looked like that seed. So I kind of thought that parallel was interesting. Similarly, because the play was a minimalist play that they were using in the other part that I have other things to say about the what they did with lighting. I thought was extremely clever for the scene with the Doctor, the hologram aliens, and Sam. I thought that they used grayscale at first. The lighting was very specific and focused in much the same way when I was rereading some of Our Town. I realized that they used spotlights to bring attention to things and stuff like that. So I thought those parallels and homages to that play in the B story were great, because then when they're going through the girl's life, as she ages, things become brighter. Like it goes from the muted, she's a baby, to she's a girl playing in a beautiful green meadow with flowers. And so, I thought that was clever. Again, technically, this was a pretty good episode. Probably one of their best as far as a television episode goes. As far as a Star Trek episode,
not so much.
Not so much.
I wish I had read the play beforehand, because I feel like I've missed out on appreciating the things in this episode. Is it part of like the American school syllabus or something? Is that why?
Well,
In some, yeah.
Okay.
I had read it in high school. As part of one of my it was plays as literature or something. It was a really good class. And I had only read it the once. It's set from 1901 to 1913 in, see if I remember this right, Grover's Mills. Actually, it's probably on the script behind me. Grover's Mill, New Hampshire, which is a New England town. So it's kind of, our area here. The Voyager, the Academy episode mentioned that it was set after a war. So if 1913 is the end of it and it's retrospective, it's probably after the First World War. It was written in 1938, preceding the Second World War. Well, at least it was first performed in 1938, I read today.
Mm-hmm.
So the play has some, history to it. It's, was considered literary enough that one of my high school English teachers included it in her syllabus. But yeah, it's Americana, but it's also, I was skimming through it and rereading scenes. It's also quite timeless. There are some things like delivering milk and newspapers that might have gone out the window, but other than that, it's quite timeless story.
Okay.
Oh, and the script is freely available if you search for it. It's on like CDN something. So, and there was a PBS production of it probably about 20 some odd years ago. But
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, I remember reading it in high school too, but I didn't remember much of it. And I said, well, at least I knew what it was. I was like, okay, I kind of remember. So, but,
and that's like a couple of things I really liked about the episode. And of course, Next Generation has done stuff like this. The Doctor also mentioned Prometheus Unbound, which was a Percy Shelley play. But the play was done lyrically. It was done like a poem that was meant to be performed. And so that was pretty cool as well. That one I didn't remember reading and was skimming through that again today. However, I couldn't find, I thought the Doctor mentioned that the title of the episode, The Life in the Village as compared to The Life of the Stars or versus The Life of the Stars, came from one of these plays or the other. I couldn't find the quote in either.
Mm.
So I'm not sure if there was some other script that was mentioned that got cut, but they kept that line.
That might have happened, yeah. But might have to look at it again just to see if I might have missed something.
So Aaron, as a filmmaker, if you take
Yeah.
away that this was Star Trek, or supposed to be Star Trek, what was your impression of what looked like the main story, where they had a teacher come in to teach theater as a guise for grief counseling? What did you think of that?
I mean, I feel like the ultimate outcome, I don't believe, had to be specific to Tilly. I think anyone could have gone through that journey, particularly the captain could have gone through that journey. I could absolutely believe that she didn't teach anything, and her special subject was theater, and she took off her shoes because I had a drama teacher that walked into the room, and the
Oh
first
my
thing that she did
God.
was take off her shoes and sit down on the stage, and we would do something. So I could have believed that the captain fulfilled that role in that story. But I mean, in terms of the parallels between what they were going through versus the play, I mean, they were essentially being smacked over the head with it. And I would assume that as an audience member, the parallels were very clear. So I think it would have been cool for them to act out the play and then that mirror real life. Because I think that was the part that was missing for me, was that they're doing a play. I want to see them doing a play. Them sitting down doing a cold reading of it wasn't.
Well, they did that at the end, though. They, when they did it again, they started to actually perform it.
Yep.
But
it still seemed like a cold reading, though.
Yeah, well, it
Yeah.
did, but it was better than the cold read. So.
Yeah, I just feel like, I don't know, my initial reaction is, yeah, plays are supposed to be performed. So if I was approaching it, I would somehow do it, whether it was like you said with shadow and lighting and the minimalist thing and them being on that sort of amphitheater part of the set they've got. I think that I would have done something like that.
Yeah, or even the holodeck. I mean, personally, that would have been even more minimalist than using that amphitheater, because they could have really have embraced the play. I mean, they could even, if so again, they went too far. They could have focused on one or the other. And they could have. There could have been a weird sci-fi bent to it, of if they were in space going to Sam's thing, there was an anomaly that transported them to 1900s, 1910, New Hampshire.
Yeah. Even
could have
the
waited around
environment
for
maybe
you.
that the hologram aliens made, that could have been inspired by the play as well.
By Sam's play, yes.
Yeah, so it could have been that's another sci-fi sort of route to get to the same spot. So yeah.
Yeah. But again, it's this is the first time before we've come on that I actually skimmed other reviews, and some people thought it was awesome, other people were like, meh. My wife lost interest in it, but it got me to think about it more. And it's like, even as I had watched it, I caught some of the technical things I thought were fantastic, like the lighting and the the panning camera I thought was very effective in this. When when they were panning on like the kids as they were, trying to read the lines and acting like kids. The performances were great. And it's like even at first I really hated Tarima's performance in it, but like at the end, like from her drunk scene on, I thought she was spot on.
Yep.
So maybe when they were filming the other scenes, the actress was having a bad day because I wasn't buying, her disinterest. It's like she looked like she was acting like she was disinterested.
Yep. Yeah, I must say, actually, the opening scene where the Chancellor and the Doctor greet her, they're waiting for her, and they're like, "Oh, we wanted to see how you went on your first day and whatever." I found that whole thing very clunky, both from a performance wise and from the way it was shot. It just seemed very weird. But yeah, I do remember thinking that her performance was a bit strange. It felt like she was acting at the start.
Another technical thing on that scene that caught my ear, and I don't know if it was just I wasn't hearing it right. The sound didn't seem right. It sounded like the sound was off that first 5 minutes or so of the episode. And I don't know what it was, but it just didn't sound right.
I've had issues with Paramount Plus and Sync for a while. Like very often I have to like stop. Oh, and AMC Plus is even worse. I have to stop it and restart it to get everything to.
Oh no! It was synced correctly. It just didn't sound right.
Oh, like maybe it was
like
where
it was
they
off.
recorded afterwards.
Yes, or something.
Yeah.
Afterwards.
It just didn't sound right to me.
That could be right because usually, sometimes when scenes are heavily rewritten after they're filmed and they have to ADR the lines, they will like chop out, specific words or phrases so that, that person's mouth can be moving on screen, and then they cut away so they can cover the join. So maybe the reason why it was clunky and the reason why you had sound problems was because it was literally like hacksawed to bits after the fact.
Yeah.
And
the other thing that didn't make sense to me with Darima was why she couldn't stay in the war college.
Yeah, that made no sense. That made no sense.
Because I mean, if they want to counselor on the trauma, they could have even have brought Kyle in and had him be part of that class too, and made it look like a joint, mandatory theater class or something, which in itself would be fishy, but.
Yeah, I could believe that. But yeah, the fact that she went to the war college at the start obviously was to enhance the dramatic tension between these two rival schools. And obviously we knew that she was going to come across at some point. But yeah, just the way there wasn't really a satisfactory explanation as to like, is it because she will be going into war that she can't handle the stress? Like it's yeah. Oh, but you can have a quiet life. You can be one of those star-based scientists from lower decks where they're, always having an outbreak and they always have to be rescued. That seems like a more simple life.
I love that trope. I loved when lower decks poked at it. I thought that was fun.
So what do you think about this possible new guest for either next week or episode 10? Have you seen that?
No.
Well, I expected the big baddie to come back.
No.
Paul something?
No, a goodie.
So who's in?
I've seen Captain Saru.
Episode 9 is called The 300th Night.
Did you hear what I said, or did I go?
I'm in shock. Really?
There's pictures.
All I heard was goodie.
There's pictures.
Oh.
Mr. Saru.
Well, I
I can't
love
believe that.
Saru and Discovery. Oh, of course, if Discovery's there.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like that's very close to Tilly coming back though.
Well, yeah, but hey,
Wow.
maybe I mean, she's with cadet's third year, and maybe
That's
he's
right.
with second year.
Yep.
Who knows? I
Yep.
mean,
Now, from a character progression standpoint, someone some of us, I would say, have like grown to appreciate, like Tilly coming back was great. And the fact that her and Sam developed an instant rapport, I thought was perfect.
Oh, because I said it was like a substitute for Tilly when Sam showed up. I mean, the personality and just like she was when she started on the Discovery.
Yep.
So,
Yep. Although Tilly was more like a nervous talker,
yes.
where Sam was just socially awkward because she never had any social experiences.
Yeah.
I'm kind of curious because even though she spent 17 years growing up with the Doctor as daddy, how she would have learned resilience and those life experiences if there were no other people for her
Yeah.
to.
Look, I feel like this was almost paying homage to the 90s episode in that it was wrapped up very quickly and probably will never be dealt with again in the rest of the show.
In that sense, it probably is Star Trek.
But yeah, it was such a shame to not see that, and I expect we're not gonna get anything out of it. But
Okay.
yeah,
probably not. No. Mm-mm.
And then the only other thing I noted liking was when Tarima went back to her quarters.
And was falling apart
The
lying
scene
on the
with her
bed.
Genesis, I thought was sweet.
yeah. I was listening to another review, and they were saying Genesis is very much like a girl's girl throughout this whole series. Like she's very reasonable. She's there for her friends. Even when they had that thing where Tarima mentions the fact that Caleb likes her or finds her pretty or something like that. It wasn't like she was still very supportive of Tarima. It wasn't like they were going to pit them against each other or there was, an extended jealousy or something like that. So
Yes.
I I wish her backstory was serviced better in the last story, but I think in terms of like who's a good character in this show, I feel like she is a very reasonable, seems to be fairly level-headed and caring person.
Yes. And then I also liked that, like, when Sam was being, in the very first episode, when Sam was being weird and awkward saying hi to everybody in the hall, and she's rattling off, greetings and all these different languages. And I thought that was it. I thought that was a great introduction of Genesis when she got up and said, you speak blah blah blah. It's one of my favorite ancient languages. I thought that was really cute.
Yeah.
And I mean, the characters aren't horrible. I mean, it's just for a teen drama. I mean, the drama part of it was really good for Star Trek.
Yeah.
Too early in the development of these characters. I mean, I got a little choked up with the thing with the Doctor and Sam at the end, but I mean, other than that, emotionally, I'm not invested yet in anybody else.
Yeah. I think the bit that made me sad was where Sam asked the doctor to hold her hand and he doesn't
And he
take it.
wouldn't do it. No.
That was such a
gut-wrenching.
yeah, that was such a wow. I'm glad they did that because we expect the opposite. So I think it was good and positioned you to feel away. I think my
And that
favorite bit, the
that
bit
young
that
lady, oh my God, again, on the positive comment for them doing this 8 episodes in, her performance was so good in this episode.
It was. So, are we done? Or we want to rate it thumbs up, thumbs down, or do we have something else that you wanted to bring up?
Well, I had a note to go back and try to re-listen to what Jaden was saying about the Klingon opera, but I didn't rewatch the episode, partly because it didn't grab me.
Yeah.
It's going to be something I have to revisit in a long time when I do care about these characters, if we get to.
Yeah.
Well, I did hear they finished filming season 2 last week. So.
Yeah, I knew they were doing it because Tig had posted something about getting her hair cut on set that was quite amusing. I thought she was a riot.
So I guess she didn't go with Tilly, I guess, or I guess they would be sophomores, second year next season, I'm assuming.
They should be, yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if that means that we'll stay with these characters or they'll introduce another set of like lower level.
I think mostly we're going to stick with these ones.
Yeah, I think
at least that's my feeling. Because Tilly said with the third year cadets, she was someplace totally different.
Yeah.
She was not on Earth.
No, well, I mean, this is the first year the Academy's been back on Earth.
Yeah.
Not the first year the Academy's been back.
That's the first year it's been on Earth, yeah.
That was my source of confusion because I was like, how's she with the third year?
It took me a while.
Where she was with the cadets in Discovery? Yeah.
So.
Because think about that. Back then, Earth wasn't really in the Federation again yet. I'm trying to remember when that happened. Was that the
very end of Discovery?
Year? Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, so Earth wasn't even an option for that first year that she had her cadets. So,
but it was good to see Mary back.
Yeah, I love the bit where she hugs Reno and's like, "It's okay to love." That was so good. That made me laugh.
That was fun. Yeah,
she definitely is like that character. She started out so annoying, but the more they had her be her, it's like, that is just the same kind of geeky, goofy, redheaded little kid that, if we had a daughter, I would have loved to have for a daughter.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. That would have been fun. I'm glad she came back. I kind of wish she would have come back earlier, but there must have been a reason.
I don't know. If there was off-screen drama, I haven't read anything about it, nor did I searched for it.
Well, I mean, who knows? Maybe their first draft of this show several years ago was going to be following Tilly with her cadets that she had.
Yeah.
And then for some reason they changed it and moved it 2 more years in the future or something like that, and then focused getting Starfleet Academy up and running on Earth. I don't know. I mean, that's because we've all talked about this, that when we saw all of the promos and talk, she was supposed to be one of the main people on the show. And then all of a sudden, no.
Maybe they talked about it before they got the signature on the line, and she had a really good agent that was like, well, you've told everybody Tilly's going to be in the show, so we're going to have to need a little bit more money for before we sign this.
Never know. Yeah. They could have reworked the whole thing for whatever reason. So,
but thinking about
I'm just looking quick to see if she had any other activities. Maybe because they were dragging butt, she got something else to do, and then it became a conflict.
Yeah, that's possible.
True. Yeah, that
That's
happens a lot.
possible.
Because I mean, she hasn't been doing this very long to like be one of those "I demand more money" things.
Well, and she could have also maybe gone on to theater, and had gigs doing theater, and then it conflicted with.
Yeah, because she
shooting
wasn't in
schedule.
season 4 of Discovery because of that. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
She was in 5 episodes of Baskets, but that was running concurrent with Discovery. Couple movies. Oh, 8 episodes of The Residence. But that was recently released too. That was really good, by the way. If you haven't seen it,
Is that the one from Canada?
I think so. It's about like a murder in the White House, and
Oh no, that's not what I'm thinking. Okay, no. No, I haven't seen that one. So
it was really good. I forget what Sue watched it on.
well, thank you, Roger, for the like on Facebook. We appreciate it. Sorry you couldn't make it tonight.
Thinking of you, old man.
Mm-hmm. But hopefully, hopefully you can join us next week and talk
There's the
about
tab.
episode 9.
Episode 9, yes.
It's crazy that we're already at this point.
I agree.
Let's flash by.
So, I mean, Roger's probably cringing because we did not say that the writers of this episode were Guy Aviolo and Jane Maggs.
Mm-hmm.
They should also have included Thornton Wilder as a writer, considering many, many lines of the script are written.
Many lines are right from the play.
So the runtime was just over an hour.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. So, thumbs up, thumbs down. I'll start. I'm going to give it a thumbs up. I mean, was it Star Trek? No, but as everyone said, had a good story, good visuals, made sense. They thought about it.
Yep. I'm going to give it a thumbs up, but it's going to be like halfway between this and this. Just because I feel like it's a bit unfair to judge this episode, but I feel like last week's was wasted and this one could have replaced it. So that's I'm jaded because of that.
I'm with Aaron. I mean, definitely not quite enthusiastic. Thumbs up. Yeah, all right, maybe. But yeah, I mean, technically, oh my god, it was really good. But come on, 10 episodes. Give us sci-fi.
Yep.
And my worry coming into this was it was going to be a CW teen drama. And now for 2 episodes, they're realizing my worry.
Well, maybe 9 and 10 will be just the opposite. So
we shall see. I mean, yeah, we shall see.
Well, everyone, join us next week. We'll be, what was the name of that episode? I haven't pulled it up. Do you still have it pulled up, what the name of episode 9 is? Or should I look it up?
300th Night.
Wow.
I have no idea what that's going to mean.
They're really trying to sort of shove everything into this last 2 episodes.
Oh, probably the 300th night at the school? Which doesn't make sense.
Well, maybe no, they were at 200 and something. They were at 200 and something in episode 8.
Yeah.
Because he said, like, in 200 and something days, you've destroyed Sam.
Yeah.
Took us 200 years to build her, and you destroyed her in 200 and something days.
Okay.
So that you might be right. That might be what it is.
Yeah, I reckon.
Yeah, the only person they have listed that's not recognizable is Tatiana Maslany, as Anisha Mir.
Is that Caleb's
Is that
mom?
the mother?
Yeah.
Oh, remember the what's his face said he had a surprise for
Yeah.
Ake?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh, they're gonna bring Tatiana in. And my prediction is she's gonna be a bad person.
Probably.
And she's gonna do something horrible. And then Caleb's
And
going to have to
she's been
wrestle with his feelings about his mother being his
brainwashed.
mother. I'm sorry, I just kept going.
No, she's brainwashed or something, and
yeah. No, she's
so it should be fun.
because I do recall that they mentioned that when she escaped with
Yeah.
Yeah.
the Tellarite Klingon guy.
Braca?
Yeah.
Is that what he said? Something Braca, yeah.
So, yep, I suspect the big baddie's coming back.
Yeah, we have to have the big baddie coming back.
Maybe it'll be a two-parter with a cliffhanger.
It might.
But I'm very curious to see if my prediction is going to come true. Because, I mean, it's just too predictable for what they've been doing.
Mm-hmm. So we shall see. Well, on that note, I'm going to close up and thank everyone for coming. Thank you, Aaron. Thank you, Greg. And we will all see each other in a week.
In a week.
Bye-bye.
Good night, everybody. Or good morning.
Yeah, depends where you are.